Hake is live, should be anyways. I see me on Periscope and Mixer, of course, and Facebook, and D Live and YouTube. What's up, guys? I should be connecting on Twitch. I'm James Hake. This is the Hake Report. It is Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. It's a great day to be alive and on the show. Appreciate you guys joining. Very nice. I see you, Tim. Hey, bud. And hopefully no drops today, but we shall see. If it happens, I'll just roll with it very smoothly, like always, right? And you can call in 888-775-3773. I do already have my second favorite caller and others already on hold, but there are lines open, so you can call in 888-775-3773. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson for allowing me to use his studio and his board operator, audio and video engineer, and I have the great Black Hope sticker, courtesy of the Jesse Lee Peterson Teespring store, in addition to the Hake Report sticker from the Hake Report and the Get a Job sticker. I heard that there was a new Jesse Lee Peterson Savage Moments video out, number 57, installment 57. Nice work, Get a Job. Appreciate you, man. Make sure you're supporting Get a Job. He puts out these things. They're great promo for Jesse Lee Peterson's work. And some people hear it, and then they laugh, and then something about what he's saying rings true to them, and they keep listening, and they realize it's more than just funny. It's true, and it's beautiful, and people's lives change. So right on to Get a Job. Appreciate you. Support him on Patreon. I do. All right, so let's get on with this show.
And just saw my homegirl Nikki from South Lawn lost her son, man. Our young generation is clearly lost, man. Clearly lost, man. Like, I don't even know what to say no more, man. Like, you youngsters just going around, just busting guns in crowds, kids getting killed, you know, and it's clearly the generation after us, man, that's so lost, man. You know, man, I came back to Houston and the nigga told me, yeah, Floyd, that young nigga the truth, man, right there, because he could bust a gun. Man, I knew it was crazy then, a nigga my age saying this here, man. You know what I'm saying? And condoning this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like half them young niggas shooting them guns go home and they knees shaking at night. But they don't show it to nobody because, you know, they ain't tough then. Hey, man, come on home, man. One day it's going to be you and God. You going up or you going down. You know what I'm saying?
That was George Floyd, FYI, before he died. And we are still live. Very cool.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, did you know that George Floyd, like practically all blacks, was a so-called Christian? Yes, he was. He had a criminal record, but he was had good intentions, right? With which the road to hell is paved, I heard. I don't know who said it, right? It's in the Bible. No, I'm kidding. I don't think it's in the Bible. But Art on the Mountain says, no way George Floyd is preaching against the protesters from the grave. This video of George Floyd saying this stuff, saying, I just heard from my friend's mother or something like that. She just lost her, I don't know, child or something. Somebody got killed. And saying the younger generation under him, younger than him, he was 46, right? Or something, are clearly lost, man. Well, his generation is and was too. And the generation before, if you talk to any of them, like my second favorite caller and my first favorite caller and others, just a mess. But supposedly he was working with Christian groups trying to get his so-called life together. That was shared by Reconcile, a black dude named Reconcile, I guess, on his YouTube channel and on his Facebook page. He's Reconcile, this person Reconcile, right? Are you familiar? He said, Floyd had a heart for the streets. Hear his heart. I pray his life would magnify this message as well as being about the social justice our country needs. And social justice is not justice, but that's unbeknownst to these black liberals. May it not be in vain. Hashtag George Floyd, hashtag justice for George Floyd. Well, that didn't come true because we see even more black on black crime and black on white crime and black on cop crime and Antifa on cop crime too. And Antifa on black crime. All kinds of madness, right? And, more hatred of whites. The Independent shared this, which is a UK outlet, disgusting outlet, the Independent. George Floyd pleaded for young people to end gun violence in this resurfaced video. I don't know what year it was. And come on home. I told you guys about this, by the way, kind of the day or so after it came out, resurfaced, right? It's going to be you and God. You're going up or you're going down. He said N-words his age are condoning this stuff. N-words being blacks, fellow blacks, right? Condoning the young people saying, oh, they're tough. He said that in the video. Oh, he's a real one. He's the truth because he was slinging guns or something like that. But I have this this screenshot of a far left, I think, Christianity Today article saying George Floyd left a gospel legacy in Houston. And of course, he left Houston to move to Minneapolis, Minnesota. As a person of peace, Big Floyd opened up ministry opportunities. Do you see that? In the third ward housing projects. That's Christianity Today. The Christians have become very liberal. Hopefully you see that. Hopefully it transferred all over. But it's crazy. Do you see it? The heck? Refresh.
What's the title?
It's something about George Floyd. I don't know. Oh, maybe I didn't transfer it. What? Let's see. I didn't. And I can't even connect to Studio 4. Maybe I can connect it to Studio 5. Can I do it that way?
Try now. Try Studio 4 now.
I can't. Oh. Connection failed. But anyways, guys, dude, that stinks. Okay. I wonder where I put it. Yeah. If it's not dropping, if it's not actually the stream dropping, it's an ill-prepared thing. Anyways, it is Christianity Today did put it out. For some reason, I don't even see it anywhere. Yeah, nowhere to be found. Oh, well. We'll worry about it later. I'll show it to you guys. I'll share it on social media or something. But basically, it's them doing a PR campaign for this guy who also had a criminal record and fentanyl in his blood and meth in his blood and also new video came out. I don't have it for you, but new video came out. Joel showed it to me from Vincent James's Instagram that he was resisting arrest. Or was he? Was it resisting arrest? Or was it something else? Was it just his medical emergency kicking in? But he just dropped to the floor. And supposedly, like, something was said about having, when you're scared of inside being closed spaces, claustrophobia. I don't know. These people have every excuse for being kind of out of control. Out of control. What's wrong with the blacks? So out of proportion that they will resist arrest. Such a shame. Let me just show you some more stuff from, his friends to show you what they're claiming. These are a bunch of liberals. Most musicians are a bunch of liberals, including the Christian musicians. There is a white musician in a rock band or something like that, Christian rock band, who came out atheist, or at least didn't believe in God. This black musician, Corey Paul, tweeted out a video, and he wrote this crazy thing. And he is a believer, a husband, a father, creative, entrepreneur, founder of Commission Center from Houston. And he knew Floyd personally. And I have clip 13, Joel. This guy, he tweeted out this video and he said, I knew George Floyd personally, so the media can't tell me nothing. We did community outreach in the hood. He was a person of peace, quote unquote. He wanted to see us come together as people. They murdered him in the street. That's why you see why hashtag Black Lives Matter has to be stated. This hurt, crying. And so here's his kind of rambling video, but at least you see what this guy is claiming, right? Listen to this.
So I was making the video about the lady who was lying on the black man about threatening her life, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? I got you, baby. About threatening her life, supposedly. And I got the news about George Floyd, the man who was murdered by the police in Minneapolis. And they're going to try to probably come out with all kind of stuff afterwards and justifying it. But I knew Floyd personally. You know what I'm saying? I knew Floyd personally. And when we doing ministry in Third Ward, Floyd was one of the people who was our person of peace. He was one of the people we would connect with, you know what I'm saying, because he wanted to see change in the community. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to see, us come together as a people. He wanted to see all the things that have been stripped from us, giving back, And so it started hitting home. You know what I mean? It started hitting home because I'm black. It started hitting home because, man, now I know the people that's senselessly being murdered. You know what I mean? And so, man, we trying to be around and raise our kids and raise our children. And, it's evil in this world that don't want that to happen. So this need to spark us up, man. This need to really spark us and be that change, you know what I'm saying? And don't just sit around and wait on nothing, but go out and get it in the sense of being that light and knowing that it's consequences to what they keep doing to us, man.
What they keep doing to us, man. So all these people that supposedly care about black on black crime and just raising our kids and all that stuff, it's a lie, because they keep on smearing the cops and the whites. Like, they keep killing us. That means they're either suckers or outright liars. Because we know that that's not true. But he called it murder. There's a lot of so-called conservatives calling it murder, including people I like. And ordinarily respect. I still respect them. I don't respect that opinion, though. You can't call it murder if you don't know the intentions and all that stuff. It's insane. This Corey Paul guy who was carrying his daughter, and Joel says the thunder was going off to block the lies. He's lucky he didn't get struck. Probably holding his daughter as a human shield against God. Just playing around. Message from George Floyd to my bro, Just Nijalon. It says tweets Corey Paul. Do not let them switch the narrative. We will keep running the race and keep the faith. And he tweets out a screenshot of a text message, supposedly from George Floyd, saying, I'm in Minnesota in the Christian program. I'm going to be back in June. Love and respect your work. Keep pushing. Love you. That's what's up. Love you, OG, says his brother or friend. So this is kind of what I was talking about with the feeble attempts to do right by the blacks. Even when they want to, end the black on black crime, they act like they care about the black on black crime. They care kind of like how our black engineers and I care about these drops. Yeah, we care, but not enough that it actually stops, right? So how much do you actually care? Do you care to the point where you're actually going to do what's right? No. They just want to address the symptom. I wish I had told that to that guy that I interviewed the other day, Jeff Charles. this whole thing about black on black crime, about black crime in general, and their run-ins with the cops and all that mess, which is their own fault generally, is just a symptom of their lack of morality, their lack of responsibility, their lack of respect for themselves and others. It's crazy. Here's another ridiculous tweet from some guy, Patrick P.T. Ngwolo. It's like a African last name. That I guess he runs or is part of this thing called ResurrectionHouston.org. Christian guy, I guess. I don't know if he's a pastor or what. He is some mess. But he says, the fact that you have to build a narrative for a man, referring to George Floyd, to be loved and given justice is repulsive to me. Even if he was a capital criminal, he deserved to be treated as someone created in his image, meaning God's image, right? I'm done coddling Christians that can only love people they deem to be lovable. And he's tweeting from his iPhone in Pearland, Texas. That was a couple weeks ago, May 26th. And so that got 1,000 likes from the idiots. But these people, these black liberals, I call them black liberals because they're not conservative. They're not for what's right. They're not that anger-free. They're not clear-minded. They think that it's murder. They don't want to point out the fact that he did have issues even that same day that it was going on. I don't know if he knowingly passed that alleged fake bill twice. The story goes, I was listening to America First yesterday. It's Nick Fuentes, and he said that he went into this store, got turned away, came back 20 minutes later, maybe with the same bill, same bad bill, because they got turned away because there's a fake bill. Then they called the cops. And allegedly, the amount of fentanyl in his blood, I heard, it's a rumor in my mind, but I heard that it's like high level of fentanyl, like almost overdose status fentanyl. Fentanyl is what the whites are dying of, isn't it? I think it's one of those opioids. And you don't want to mix it with stuff. So I don't know if I saw this video. He's being escorted to the police car after having been cuffed. And sure enough, he goes down. So yes, you can resist arrest while handcuffed, people. Haven't you seen the movies where people beat up other people and then while cuffed? It's a fact. Blacks try it. It's a mess. And this guy has this false version of love, of what love is. Love is, I think, having a sense of like balance. I pulled a Nick back when I was a young producer a few years back after this Eric Garner thing. Some of these liberals, Jewish people were across the street in front of the bank protesting. They're anti-war protesters usually, but they were doing this Black Lives Matter protest, right? So I walk over there with my green iPhone. I had my first smartphone back in like 2014, 2015. And I walk over there. I see your Black Lives Matter sign. And they were accusing cops of murder. I'm like, how do you know it was murder? And I asked them, should Eric Garner was the guy who resisted arrest in New York, should he have resisted arrest? And the guy stopped talking to me. You sound like you have an agenda. It's a straightforward question. Should he have resisted arrest? If you care about blacks not getting themselves killed, that would be the first step. It takes two to tango, usually. Usually a killing is, especially between the cops and the blacks, the two have a role in it. And but they don't care about blacks resisting arrest. They don't care about the black lives that they pretend to care about. And I also asked about abortion. It's on one of my other channels, James Hake or something. I'll share it. But they're fake. Loved and given justice. Treated as someone created in his image. You got to restrain these people somehow. Maybe not with the knee on the neck, or maybe so. It was part of policy. They were trained that way. I don't know if this specific guy was trained that way, but according to what I've heard, the Minneapolis police do have a part of their training, knee on the neck. Looks kind of crazy to me, but maybe it's part of that Krav Maga stuff. Anyways, I have more stuff to get to. Mitt Romney, I finally got that Mitt Romney video. Some of this is old news, but I just want to show it just because it's so ridiculous and disgusting. Cops did do some wrong, though, allegedly. It was seen on video, according to the Star Tribune and Drudge. Officers patrolling Minneapolis during the height of the recent riots and protests slashed tires of vehicles parked and unoccupied in at least 2 locations amid the riots and unrest. It was posted to, I saw it on social media, in a Kmart parking lot over there in Minneapolis. So, cops, you got to be perfect no matter what. Oh, man. Anyways, it's crazy. Let me get to some callers, though. First, let me get to my second favorite caller. He's been on hold. Earl from Michigan. How you doing, Earl?
Hola, buenos dias.
Hola. Buenos dias.
Junior Beavis Butthead,
Wow.
the egghead. How you doing? My second favorite racist.
I'm doing fine, Mr. Democrat.
Great.
Yeah, how about you?
Say what?
How are you?
I'm fine.
Right on.
I was going to touch on the Black Lives Matter with Jesse, but he got scared and ran when he.
Oh, yeah, he was real scared.
Yeah, he ran after he knew he was
Aren't
caught.
you I know you're not a Christian, but you quote the Bible, and yet you lie. You bear false witness against your neighbor. That's one of the worst things that you guys don't like, bearing false witness against black people. You bore false witness against black people. Shame on you.
Now, you can make up foolish nonsense if you want to.
No, you're the one who's saying
But,
Jesse got scared.
Yeah, he did.
All right.
He quickly.
Okay, Mr.
Told me
Farrakhan.
to go talk to you. He said he didn't want to talk to me because I didn't caught him in a lie.
Yeah,
and
all
he
right.
couldn't answer it.
Anyways,
And
why don't you confront him
and
about
so-
that?
huh? Well, if he would stay on the phone, I would.
No.
Didn't you hear him tell me to go talk to you?
Call him tomorrow with your mess and your smears.
Ah, you big defensive fool.
Nice.
You're just a lackey.
Right.
Why don't you just kiss his feet or his ring and be done with it?
Because I'm not a white liberal.
Yes, you are. You're a white racist pig. And all them because you follow Jesse because he spouts the same ideology you believe in.
Well, if you want to call me a liberal, I guess if,
I
according
ain't calling you a liberal.
according to Jesse Lee Peterson's definition, anyone with anger is a liberal. And I kind of like that, actually. That's a
According
good...
to Jesse. Boy, you sure.
Huh?
You want to quote him verbatim all his life? What is it according to James?
According to me, you're stupid.
Great. At least
Yeah.
you said something original.
Thank you.
So,
You know why I
at
called you
least you're
stupid,
starting
Earl?
to grow up, little boy.
Do you know why I called you stupid?
I don't care why you call me stupid. You can call me whatever you want.
Can I
It's
tell
not
you why?
important.
Can I tell you why?
You can tell me why. Not that it matters.
All right. Because you, like so many of the blacks, including my recent guest, claim that, black on black crime is a red herring because it's a misnomer because 80% of 80 to 90% of crime is committed by the same race against the same race. That's a stupid, irrelevant statement. That's why I called you stupid.
Is it true?
It's
Is it
true, but
true?
it's true, but it's irrelevant. It's a red herring.
No, it's only irrelevant when you want to minimize it.
I minimize. You know why I minimize it?
I know why you minimize it.
You want to? You know why?
I know why you minimize it.
Why
Want
do
me to
you
tell
think?
why
Why
I
do
know
you think?
Why you minimize it?
Why do you think that I minimize this stupid notion that it's a good point that most crime is intra-racial, meaning on the same race? Why do you think that I minimize that stupid point?
Let me just explain it to you so you can understand, or maybe simplify it.
All right.
Let's
No,
say,
no, no. Answer why I minimize it.
Oh, I'm gonna answer it. Just listen and get the whole text of it,
Okay.
and you will understand.
All right. Make it snappy.
Just shut up for a minute.
All right.
Let's say 100 crimes are committed by the same race, like white race, and they commit 86% of it, up to 90%. In that mixture of 100 crimes, you have a sub section of interracial crime, and let's say 10 of those are committed, and eight of those crimes are committed by blacks against whites. Now you playing with the numbers. You say that's 80%. That's 80% of blacks crimes against whites. Well, if you play with that number, you would think they committed 80% of all the crimes that was committed by whites. And so you take away the subset, and you still come up with 86 to 90% of all the crimes are done by other whites. That's how you can play with the numbers.
So you just explained why you claim that, right? Why you say that. But you didn't explain why I diminish it. Why I diminish that point as a stupid point.
Well, I wouldn't characterize what the reason you do it.
So then you don't know why I do it.
No, it doesn't matter, because what I think you did it, you would say, well, that's not what I did it. So what I think is probably irrelevant to what you claim you actually did.
Right. Okay. Earl, let me explain it to you. I know you're slow, and I know that blacks like to hold on to their stuff, but listen closely.
Yeah.
Black crime is way out of proportion. That includes black on black. That includes black on white. That includes murders, rapes, robberies, all kinds of madness. Way out of proportion. And so this proportion of those crimes.
That says nothing.
Yeah.
Charles.
Okay.
That says
Yeah.
nothing.
That's just so you know.
Still doesn't
Blacks don't understand math, guys.
86% of crimes committed is committed by same race or better.
I know.
When you
God.
do
Okay,
all the
yeah,
numbering,
all right.
it's still 80,
Move on to your
still
point.
The majority
I'll give you
of the crimes are committed
yeah.
by the same race
You wasted
against each other.
You wasted your time with this dumb point, right? I asked you to answer why I diminished the point, and you tried to explain the whole point.
You want me to tell you why you make foolish comparisons?
No, you're the one with the foolish comparison. Anyways, I'll give
By
you.
the way,
I'll give you. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Talk about that.
Yeah, the thing about it is, Jesse says that's a foolish nonsense. Well, not really if you really want to know what it actually meant. It meant that police accountability and people licensed by the state, black lives shouldn't matter. They shouldn't be arbitrarily killed or hurt or maimed, and the police get off scot-free.
You think these cases are arbitrary?
Huh?
You think these cases where the cops and the blacks fight and the black gets killed, you think those are arbitrary killings?
It makes no difference whether they're arbitrary or...
Then why do you call it arbitrary?
The fact that they happen is the problem.
No, Earl.
You
Black
expect
crime.
criminals
Hold
to
on.
be criminals.
No, you know why? You know why this stuff is happening? Is because the blacks are out of control.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what white racists think. Hey, David Duke, you got any more philosophy?
No, I'm done. Thanks, man. Nice to hear from you. Take care. Well, it was nice talking with him. Let me get to Mark, a smart person, refreshingly, first-time caller out of Los Angeles, California. Mark, how you doing?
Good, Hake. How you doing?
Doing fine. What's up?
I am very smart. I just want to reiterate that, but I
Right
don't know
on.
how you deal with that Earl guy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
This is how
I saw.
that's why not only can they not comprehend a relevant fact or distinguish a relevant fact from an irrelevant fact, they're also at root it's just they're angry, they hate, and that's why Jesse cuts through the crap. I love that Jesse's not into facts at all. I love that he's just into the
He's
truth.
the best.
Yeah.
I
Anyways.
can watch him all day. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I was on Instagram, and I have all these white woke friends, and they're a little bit younger, so they're all caught up in that.
Speak up for me. Stay close to your phone, Mark.
Sorry. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you okay. It's just a little. We're gonna turn you up here, I think. Go for it.
Okay. Well, anyways, I was on Instagram, and someone posted this thing about donating money, and they're giving out money to black people and black families only. And, I think it's really good if you're taking donations and helping people that are struggling because of COVID-19, but it literally said for black people only. And, it's just a little bit, I was thinking about putting my info on there and just seeing if I could get some money, but I wouldn't keep it. I'd give it to someone else. But it's just, you can't do that if someone said white people only. I mean, that'd be ridiculous.
It would be. It is. They're kissing up to the worst people in the country. Really, it's what they are. The worst crime comes out of that community, way out of proportion, and they and the worst mentality comes out of this group thinking where they vote at 90%, 96, 98% black, including when a Republican is running against them. That's a little shout out to my previous guest, Jeff Charles, who pretended that, they only vote that way because the Republicans don't put up a candidate. They voted 98%. Black females voted 98% in Alabama against Roy Moore, who was a great candidate.
Wow.
So anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
I
smeared
just
as
wanted to bring
a
that up, but
so-called.
I appreciate it, man. It's always good to listen to your guys' shows.
Yeah, thank you for calling. Nice to hear from you.
Have a good one.
That's horrific, man. All right, take care. Let me get to Chris out of Illinois with more on these supposedly maybe police maybe overstepping a little. I don't know. Chris, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, James. How are you? Well, no man's good, but I'm all right.
Good. Right on.
Yeah. So I saw this blog yesterday, which I can send it to you because it had links to, all the information of where it was obtained.
Yeah.
But it turns out that old man that was knocked over was giving the police a hard time throughout the day.
Okay.
And on his own blog, he was writing about how basically this guy's an agent provocateur. He goes out to these events to start problems, essentially. He's just an extreme leftist, but
I read about him. I read about him. He is an extreme leftist. He seems like one of these so-called peace activists, which, it's fake peace, right? Because they're liberal. He's basically a communist, right? Anti-American.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he's a nice guy, maybe, or trying to be a nice guy. So I don't know what the truth is about what he did with the cops. But anyways.
Yeah, well, within the article, he's talking about on his blog that he wanted to get the police communication signal, right? And so they showed a slowdown of him getting knocked over, and you could see him take his cell phone and continually try to put it to the cop's belt on their communication unit, trying to skim their signal. And as they're pushing him over, he's still trying to reach for his phone to go next to their belt. And
he says
when you see the video slow down,
did he write?
There's no doubt that's.
But did he write that he did that?
He did, and that's why I was going to send you the. I believe he said that he wanted to do that, but in the video, though, you can see that he's not just sitting there walking and trying to do anything. He's literally trying to do something with his cell phone to these two cops' belts, because he gets pushed to one side and he reaches over and tries to get the other cop's belt with his phone next to him. And like I said, it's a little bit of speculation, but I said the article I can send you just so you can see it. But the slowed down video, that guy wasn't doing nothing. He was up to no good.
Yeah.
And
you know, these people,
so
these so-called do-gooders like him, I think he's a Hispanic too, by the way. They are that soft evil where they, you know, they pretend that they're pushing for nonviolence and stuff like that, but they really want the overthrow of the country. They don't want what's right. They believe in racism. That's their religion. They don't have any real love. They have that fake imitation of love. Anyways, go for it.
But just in the sense, you know, if people would have been calm, I mean, like you say, or like Jess says, and just wait to see some facts, or at least get an idea of who this guy was or why the cops were. Apparently, these cops, and this was, you know, legit as far as within the article, they told him to back off multiple times.
And the officers, the two officers, are charged with a Class D felony or something like that, felony assault, and it's so ridiculous. This stupid New York Governor Cuomo was, you know, turned on them. They're evil. Anyways.
Oh, for sure. Well, it just shows you that there's some kind of, I mean, you call it a conspiracy, but I mean, that is what it is. There's something crazy is happening. And,
I like that the emergency response team, all 57 members, resigned from that in response to them being charged or put on unpaid leave or whatever. They were put on unpaid leave and eventually they were charged. It's so wrong. I haven't even bothered to watch the video. There's so many videos out. I haven't even bothered to watch it because...
how can I send you the article so you can at least check it out?
The Hake Report, @gmail.com.
Okay. I'll send it your way just so you can check it out. I mean, if anything, showing other people
maybe
that video, they can kind of see for yourself. Yeah, maybe he will.
Yeah.
He'll probably lie to you.
Of course. I mean, that's all they have. Thank you, Chris. Take care, man.
Oh, you're welcome. You have a good day.
You as well. So, speaking of the cops, I told you about them slashing tires on video, at least apparently, right? I don't know what the story is with that, why they would do that. I saw other cops in a video on Twitter spraying like pepper spray or something as they were driving by in a caravan of a bunch of cops, and there were protesters lined along the side of the road somewhere, and they spray, not everybody, but from somewhere, from one or two cars, pepper spray was seen being shot out at the people. You got to be perfect in dealing with these evil people, because they're only going to crack down on the decent people. It's just like the whites. The whites have very low crime, but it is getting worse because the whites are on decline as well. So every time a white lashes out or even says something true, he's called a hater. But sometimes they do wrong, and it only justifies, it adds to the illusion and the delusion that whites are the aggressors in this mess. Anyways, let me get to Full Metal. Out of the Bronx, New York City. First time caller. Full Metal. How are you?
What's up, Hake?
Hey. What's your first name? I feel like a goof calling you Full Metal.
It's just one name, Full Metal Jacket Bear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he only wrote the...
It's a bear name, so it's like, it's just one name.
All right.
So it's Full Metal. Like that.
What's up?
But, all right, you know what I see when I look at this protest? I see the age category.
The age category?
Right, where you do see some adults, but usually they're not really part of the emotion that's happening.
Yeah.
And when you do, and when they are, they're usually organizers, right?
Yeah.
So, but I see the age category, right? And I see what generation they were, and right before that generation, right, there was an understanding that everything was about culture, that I'm 31,
Okay.
right? And in my generation, and the guys a little older than me, because I grew up a little fast, so I'm talking about guys a little older than me. So say people around 35, they understand that everything was about culture. And even when it broke down to stop and frisk, it was about where you lived at. And there's not a lot. And stop and frisk was worse in the red zones, and the red zones was the areas where the most minorities lived.
And high crime.
The most crime.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but even if you were white like me, I'm light skinned and I look white,
Uh-huh.
right? I went through the stop and frisk probably more than they did, and only because I'm like way more rebellious than they are, and I got arrested way more than more of my friends.
How'd you feel
And,
getting stopped and
bullshit.
frisked?
I just took it, and then, but you know what? I didn't sue. I could have, but I got an order of protection on the precinct. And what I did was I always admitted when I was wrong. So when there was, we had proof that they were wrong, and because I always admitted when I was wrong, like I just, whatever, if I'm guilty, I admit everything. Well, I was smoking, I was doing, whatever it was, right? So when it got down to, to the judge, deciding what's going to happen, he listened to my statement, and he felt that I was telling the truth because I never ran from the cops.
Yeah.
I always hung out, sold drugs when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
It was like, it was in and out. I went to school, I went to work, but just living out there, you just end up selling drugs because it makes you more money.
Yep.
But anyway, what I noticed is that when I was leaving high school, right? I left when my age that would be leaving high school, because I got my GED when I was 14. But I can see the teachers changing, and my mom had kids when I was a little older, so I was able to see what they were learning.
Yeah.
And what I noticed is that teachers got younger.
Yep.
So they were part of the generation that was getting taught.
Yeah.
The new stuff. And it happened in a way where people in the hood, we notice. We understand what's happening. And it's crazy. Like, a lot of the looters you see, a lot of them are people who don't even claim a side, like a Republican and Democrat, because they don't trust any of the government.
Right.
They're not even part of that. And half of them was Antifa, actually, let's just call them paid organizations. They were paid organizations.
Yeah.
So was Black Lives Matter, paid organization.
Yep.
And I'm going to get right back to my story, but let me just say one thing real fast. On the Black Lives Matter main website, they say that they want to disrupt the nuclear family.
Yeah, I saw that.
The problem is that people don't read, and especially in the hood, they don't read. Now. All right, let me go back to what I was saying. So I noticed the change, and they grew up with music that emulated our life when the hoods were already changing. They got better. Parks got better, everything. Like, everything changed gradually, right? And they were convinced by media, by TV, they were programmed, by TV to think that they were like living like we did when we hung out. They were on their phones.
Yeah.
They were taught by school, and they hung out, and I mean, they didn't hang out, and they were on their phones all day, and they were taught the bull crap from the public education systems, from the young teachers, and you get the people that you have today. And
so they're taught. You're saying that they're taught that it's hard out there.
The black history, and all that crap. Like, the way they teach it is as if we.
I know that. I have
it's pushed on one side. When I grew up learning about Black history, I was even in the public education system, even in New York City, they still taught us that they still taught us about the Republican Party.
Yeah.
About where it started. And because we had older teachers, we had teachers that
more
didn't care about the curriculum. Yeah, and
more traditional, more sane.
They were like, they said, listen, the Democrats and the Republicans, this party was racist. They created KKK. It wasn't any of our books.
Man,
they kicked.
You are so right. I have friends who are teachers, white, Christian, so-called conservative. I don't know if they're conservative, really. Female and Hispanics, and all these friends who are high school teachers and stuff, and they're sharing these blackout stuff and all that. And I know for a fact, and they're the nicer ones. There are radical teachers who are brainwashed in these schools, and they're brainwashed by social media, and they're teaching the kids that they're right to be, like what Michelle Obama said, right to be angry. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're too angry. I appreciate that, man.
And I grew up in a park. I grew up in one of the worst parts of the Bronx. Right, I can say the N-word. I'm not going to say it on your show. Right? I can say the N-word. It was in my immediate vocabulary.
Yeah.
Now it's not anymore, but it definitely was.
Right.
Now, if you came from upstate New York and you were black, right, and you had a really proper, you spoke proper, and he couldn't say the N-word.
Right.
Because it was a culture thing.
Even back then, they had a little bit more respect than today. Just 20 years ago.
Exactly, because we realized it was a culture thing. We realized I lived right next to the Bronx Zoo. Now, the Bronx Zoo, every place where the Bronx Zoo is at, they make sure it's in tip-top shape. And people live a little, it's like, I don't know how they do it. And, I'm pretty sure they have some really good engineers and how they put stores and neighborhoods. But those are usually neighborhoods where no one touches or bothers the white people that go in and out.
Yeah.
So, and it's always been like that, right? And it's because we don't even live in the same world.
Yeah. Full Metal Jacket, I appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you. Call again.
All right, man.
All right. Take care. Yeah. It's so shocking, like, even the difference between, like, my upbringing as, like, an older borderline Gen X millennial to, like, Joel's to others. Because Joel's 10 years, he was born 10 years, almost 10 years younger than me, right? And the stuff that they weren't taught. I was taught that there were decent slave owners and cruel ones, right? Which just makes sense. But I don't think that you were taught that, did you? That there were decent slave owners who treated their slaves nice?
No, definitely weren't taught that.
But, and also, like,
that's not the news I heard.
We heard the term gay sometimes, and these old teachers, my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Otter, she's like, that's, like, she didn't say degenerate, right? Because that's a Nazi word. But she said, it's a perverted lifestyle. They're changing the word to mean something perverted. I don't even know if she used that word, but it was obvious that they were saying stuff that this is not good. And that was common sense people. But nowadays, like, even my friends, even though we didn't hear homosexuality being pushed as accepted in high school, it definitely is being pushed as accepted and cool, even, to be homosexual, transgender, all that questioning. And now, but my friends and everybody younger, and some people, bunch of people older, most of them act like they're pro-gay and pro-black. They hated the blacks. They are the ones who came from Los Angeles, right? Because where I grew up, very few blacks. But they grew up in, like, their earlier younger days were with the blacks in Los Angeles, where it was rough, both the Asians and the Hispanics. They hated the blacks because of how they were, like the bullies and the gangs and all that stuff.
Right.
It's so fake. So, anything you want to say? Anything?
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like people even know now, but even growing up when, like, you'd be around the guys and they actually did something that was, like, girly or whatever, you say, that's gay.
Right.
Because you just knew that it wasn't proper for a man to be doing those kind of acts.
Right.
So it's just, and even now, you always, see, it always just seems kind of off-putting. But they're just like, now it's just more pushed. But
right.
But even still, I still hear, like, my students will say, like, they see something off, they'll be like, ugh.
Right.
It's just like a natural reaction.
Yeah.
But then yet they'll, like, defend it and be like, oh, well, what's wrong with gay pride?
Yeah.
But, their
even
first
though they know
reaction-
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
kids
crazy.
know that it's wrong, that something's wrong with it. They know it.
Yeah.
That's like, even these young people, they call Jesse's show, they call Jesse for Counseling, raised by lesbians and homosexuals and all that madness. They still know it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's like God puts the knowledge inside of them or something. But anyways, people are so lost. Let me get to, I'm going to open the treasure chest. I heard that I didn't open it yesterday, even though I tried to. I thought I tried to. So I'm going to open it today. Let me see how it is. Ah, man, I don't know. I don't know if I did or didn't. Anyways, let me get to Andrew out of Ohio. Andrew, what's up?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Mitt Romney siding with the Democrats again. This crazy dude.
Perfect. Go for it.
Yeah, I don't know what to bring up first. Remember his anti-Trump speech? I think it was 8 months before the election in 2016.
Might have been less than that, but yes, I do remember that.
And I can't believe he's siding. What they did, he had perfect character. So
Who had perfect
well,
character?
He was a nice guy. Let's just say Mitt Romney.
Oh, Mitt Romney.
When he was going against Obama.
Oh, yeah.
And they had that tape of that 47% of Americans pay no income tax.
Right.
So he stated a fact, and they tried to make it look like he hated black people with that one, remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. I liked that when he said that.
He said they were dependent on government. He told the fact, and then they got angry.
Yep.
Because they had to fix. Remember that same month, Obama said you didn't build that, so they had to ignore that statement and try to attack Romney.
Yep. When?
And then Romney siding with these people that don't like him. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
He's a lame, pathetic kiss up. He is one of them. He's basically, he's an enemy of America. He just is. And you can call him a communist. You can call him a leftist, a liberal, a rhino. He is probably all of those things, even if he doesn't like claim communism. But he's an evil person, and he is a tool of evil. He's fake, and this kissing up to the blacks is a disservice to the blacks. It's like, it's no wonder that blacks are so deluded, because everybody, with exceptions to the rule, is affirming this delusion. It's like the emperor who had no clothes. Everybody has to say, "Oh, the emperor's clothes are beautiful," because if you only an impure soul will not see the clothes. And thank God for some sane people, a little bit of sanity coming out of Trump, and sanity coming out of Jesse Lee Peterson, and more people waking up. But it's crazy. And they villainize the people who are telling the truth. And some of the people who are telling the truth, admittedly, they do get mad, and they make themselves look bad too. But still, we have the freedom of speech. You have to have the spirit of the freedom of speech in this country. Anyways, go for it.
I think they enjoy lying. I think they actually enjoy it. Remember when Nadal Hassani killed 13 people at the Fort Hood military base? He was shouting Allahu Akbar, and Obama said, well, it was workplace violence. It wasn't Muslim terrorism.
You have a good memory for this stuff. I remember all of these classic moments. I wonder if the people listening, many of them are younger and didn't get into politics.
Oh, I just got a Word document with, remember when Madonna said to blow up the White House?
Right.
And they all cheered.
Yep.
Woo!
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Andrew. You're right. They
it's
do
a violent ideology. I appreciate it.
They do like lying. It's like kind of like mothers saying, like the black mothers, my baby didn't do that. It's not in his character. I didn't raise him to be like this. Of course you did. Or my mother's, I was in, okay. My mother once said James is strong, and it was like we were in counseling. And if you heard me in church services from 2008 and 9, it wasn't particularly strong, but mothers lie, and that's that feel sorry for these poor innocent victims, and that's what liberalism is. Man, I appreciate you.
You can't even tell the truth. You can't even say the truth anymore.
Right.
This college kid, I think it was a religious studies class, and he told the professor they're having a discussion, and he said, "Yeah, there's only two genders," and he got kicked out of class.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. This stupid, Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe, the actor.
Yeah, he said,
He said trans women are women because J.K. Rowling, who's a Trump hater, who's the author of the Harry Potter series, had an issue with the term people who menstruate. And she's all, why don't you just say women? Oh, my gosh. Maybe Daniel Radcliffe should have said trans men are men because they're females, really. They're actually females. And they menstruate too. So men can menstruate. Anyways, I'm laughing too hard at this. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, I heard a joke. There's the scientists have finally discovered there's 3 genders: male, female, and delusional. Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew, take care, man. Appreciate
All right,
you.
I appreciate it, man.
All right. Congrats to Asmodor, Lin Yen Chin, Take Care, Business Bear, Hot Computer Smell, Brandon M. Polly J gave a couple diamonds. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Purse Timmy. I'm going to get to my favorite caller and hopefully Richard out of North Carolina and others. Pristini gave a diamond, says, hey, Hake, we can fix all this mess with RoboCops. Oh, man. Lin Yen Chin says, check the app. Snug. Alternative donation format. Okay. I think it was made by liberals, if I remember right. I think I've seen it before. But maybe not. I did get a tip about this. Thanks for the tip, Lin Yen Chin. Snug. I'm going to screenshot it for the people. Sleepy Dragon says, I found you and Jesse because of Get a Job. Right on. Shout out to Get a Job. Appreciate it, Sleepy Dragon. Lin Yen Chin says, knew him personally, referring to these black so-called Christian liberal friends of George Floyd who accused cops of murder, but said, knew him personally, but was calling him Greg. Yeah, he called him Greg Floyd. Oh, I mean George Floyd. Asmodor with the Ninja Guinea, also hosting the Hake Report. Thank you. And he says, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Yeah, the standards are so low nowadays. We gotta be, that's why I like where Jesus said to be perfect. And I like the Christians who reaffirm that we should be perfect. Yeah, it's cool. Ludwig von Neon, appreciate the diamond. Asmodor says, there is no bus short enough for Earl. Earl, I think the anger, the stubbornness makes them dumber. Lin Yan Chen says, we lack wisdom, so no sense of orientation. Yeah, in reality, referring to. Lin Yan Chen says, contextually disoriented by low sense of identity. Interesting. Yeah, they have a false sense of identity for sure. They identify with blackness. Lin Yan Chen says, be still and know yourself, and truth equals orientation. All right, thank you for explaining. And he says, pride is just vanity, and thus insanity. Gay indeed. Army Ann. Oh, Army Ann, long time no see, I think. Says, live funeral service for Floyd on now. What the? Yeah. This is like the 3rd or 4th thing, and this one, I think, this one is in Houston, I guess. I think it's for the actual burial, because they did one from Houston already. Before I get to Maze and the rest, let me read these YouTube super chats. Jib Jab, wait for it. Danny says, Waynell Sexton seemed like a made-up name. I haven't looked into that. White guilt is out of control, Danny says. Yeah, it's so pathetic. They hate blacks. Christian Fell says, the Hake Report, la la la. And Hot Computer Smell gave a super chat. Thank you, faithful supporters. Let me show Mitt Romney, since we just spoke with Mitt Romney. Here's some screenshots in a clip. Mitt Romney marching in the dumb parade, pretending he cares about black lives. This was on Sunday in D.C. with fake Christians, and they're marching. This is him.
Finding a way to end violence and brutality, and to make sure that people understand that Black Lives Matter.
Dumb. So Romney's Racial Justice March spotlights faith groups role, and that's from the far left AP. Yeah, fake. Anyways, Maze, 30 seconds from Dayton, Ohio. Go.
Hello, James.
Hey.
I will say the dummies that didn't go to the classroom, you can tell, because they are full of hate. And then when I heard Jesse say he didn't go through the back door, he was telling a lie. I'm not going to say he was stiffing, he was telling a lie, because he did have to go through the back door. And then you said that was good, slave masters? Yeah, it was, because they slept with the black women. That's why they have biracial children.
And those are the good slave masters.
Nah. You don't want to deal with that.
All right. Appreciate you,
And then-
Mace.
And then black lives do matter, and they're going to always matter. Not in the race of the haters, in the races, and all those people, it's not going to ever matter to them. But people
Tell
don't
that.
care about them anymore.
Tell that to the
so
blacks.
y'all don't have nothing to cry about. And then you tell your president to hold the Bible the right way. If he had one in his hand,
Wait, he held it like this.
he would've
What's
held
wrong
it
with that?
The right way.
He held it like a man.
No, that wasn't held. Well, it was backwards and upside down.
So what? Oh, geez.
Hitler had it turned the right way.
All right.
So he should have been
Thank you,
paying
Mace.
attention to y'all haters and can't even admit it.
All right.
And
You have a
Earl-
good day.
Earl just slayed all of those dummies in the
All right.
chat room.
Gotta go, Mace. Take care. Richard out of North Carolina. 20 seconds. Go. First time.
20 seconds? Jeez.
I know.
I
Sorry.
was going to try to say that BLM, there's, no real racism, but there is master and slavery. It's Antifa yanking the BLM chain around. So, if you want to talk about white supremacy, look at Antifa,
All right.
And then one last thing, Biden isn't a racist. He's just stupid.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Richard. Thank you, man. Sorry for the
Take care.
short call,
Bye-bye.
but call again. Take care, man.
All right.
All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow, and I will be working on another church Sunday service throwback for tomorrow afternoon. So get ready. thehakereport.com/show for my stuff and the podcasts as well. JesseLeePeterson.com for Jesse Lee Peterson stuff. This shirt available at Bond website, rebuildingtheman.com/stores. And you'll see the picture and click on it and it'll take you to Teespring. Order it from Teespring. All right. Take care.